Welcome back guys, we are back again with a tutorial. This time we're going to be going over Multiverse Portals. Now we've had a few requests for this because it is really cool. You can use it with Multiverse itself, so you can have one server with multiple worlds, and you can also have portals going to each world. Not only that, you can also have it in the same world, so you might have a portal from your normal world to the Nether. You might just have a portal from somewhere to really far away. Either way, loads of uses to this, so let's go ahead and let's get started. Before we get started, if you haven't got yourself a Minecraft server, head on over to SeekaHost.co. Really cheap Minecraft servers, some of the best on the market right now. You're really going to struggle to find prices quite as good as this, so head on over, grab yourself a server. Once you have got one, and we're going to be using the Multicraft for this one, because this is how SeekaHost has their servers. So, few prerequisites, or just something to have in your mind, is that I'm going to be using FileZilla. That's a free download. I'll leave the link in the description. That's simply just to move over stuff a little bit easier between your server. You can, of course, use your FTP file access. It just depends how large some files are, or some plugins. So either way, use your FTP file access for the plugins, or I'm going to be using FileZilla. And secondly, it's going to be two plugins that I'm going to be using here. So the first one's going to be Multiverse Core. If you're not sure how to use Multiverse, this isn't going to be a complete tutorial on Multiverse. We do have another video which I'll leave popping up now. However, we're going to be using this just so I can show you how we can use a portal from one place to another. Plus, I'll be really quickly running through how to create another world with Multiverse, just because we're going to have to create it anyway along the way. So we're going to be downloading this. We're also going to be downloading Multiverse Portals. That will then go along with the Multiverse, so we can then create the portals. So let's get started. First of all, let's download these. So let's go for Multiverse Portals. I'm going to be downloading the latest version. Make sure you go ahead and keep that. If it's coming up with a little display saying not sure whether to keep it. And again, let's go for Multiverse Core and let's download that via the link as well. Again, these are both on Bucket. I'm going to be running a paper server, so it doesn't really matter because it's going to be compatible with both Bucket and paper. Now, with both of them downloaded, what we want to do is we want to go ahead to our server and we want to stop our server. Now again, I'm going to be running paper, the latest version. I do recommend using paper because it uses both Spigot and Bucket plugins, and it's just much more optimized for servers, a lot more than either a Bucket server or a Spigot server. So we're going to be using paper and we're going to be using the latest. Now I did notice that on Multiverse Core, I believe it only says, or the Spigot site only says up to 1.17, however it does work for 1.18. It still works pretty well. So, with our server stopped, what we're going to do is we want to then upload some files to it, which are going to be the plugins that we just downloaded. In fact, let's give it a go. Let's go for our FTP file access. Let's see if we can do it that way. Sometimes it can time out depending on how large the plugin is, so let's just go ahead and try first. So, we're going to be going to the plugin section here. Obviously, we have no plugins. We haven't uploaded anything yet, so let's just go ahead to upload on the left-hand side. Let's go ahead and choose the file. I'm going to start off first with Multiverse Core. Let's just go ahead and submit that. I'm going to do one by one again, just so I don't... there we go, transferred fine. So it looks like FTP file access will be fine with these plugins. You don't need to use FileZilla. Apparently the size isn't too big, and there we go, both have been transferred. So now if I go back to my plugins page, I'm going to be able to find that I've got both the plugins in here. I've got Multiverse Core and Multiverse Portals. Now we've only got the jar because now we need to start the server just to kick it all in, then it will make the data. So of course with that, let's head back, let's start the server back up, and this will now start it with Multiverse Portals and Multiverse Core. And of course this will work if you have a server already up with worlds and everything like that. It doesn't matter, you don't need to start with a brand new world. You can just upload this, and quick as that, we got that on. So with that all done, let's head on in-game. If this is a brand new world and you're not a server operator yet, also you will need to go to your console. From your console, just type in OP, whatever your player name is, and then that will let you use all the commands for it. We'll very likely run over permissions right at the end as well, in case you want to add certain permissions, so only certain people can use the portals, certain people can't. So yeah, let's get into it, let's get in game. So let's just go ahead and open up Minecraft on the latest version. So now let's head on over to multiplayer, and I think I might have the server on here, Havercraft, there we go. So we got the server up there, let's just join on and let's get started creating these portals. First of all, if you do want to create a new world with a Multiverse Core, we're going to be doing /mv create. Make sure that you add a name to it, so I'm just going to put second here, and then we're going to put the world type, which is going to be normal. As you can see there, we're going to start creating it. Of course, there are variations. You might just have to Google that. I think it's something like t equals flat if you want a flat world. Either way, these are very easily findable. I'll leave all the links to the plugins as well, and they'll show you all the wikis and stuff like that. So either way, we've now created a world. It is called second. We can do mv tp second just to head on over to that world. As you can see, we're in two different locations. If you want to check what worlds you got, it's going to be MV list. It's going to tell you all the worlds that you have. So we have a battle zone and we have second as well. So let's just head back over to battle zone and we're straight back to here. So let's go ahead with the portals. Now the portals can be any way that you want. So let's just go ahead. I'm just going to make some, just normal sort of nethery looking portals here. So let's create your first portal. And again, it really doesn't matter what you use. So you're going to be marking the location of it anyway. So it's practically going to be where somebody runs through. You will of course need the blocks to actually click on. I'm just going to use some glass here because you need to, that's how you're going to basically do it. You're going to click on each side to make sure that it's got the correct location. So let's just add some glass panels here. And like mentioned earlier, this can be done on the same world. It can be done between here and the nether. It can be done between here and another world. What we're going to do is we're going to do this between here and another world. So let's do MVTP to second one more time, and we're going to create another one right here. So pretty much where we spawn. Let's just go ahead and create this portal. Perfect, so portal created, just to keep me from not getting confused here, so let's just start at the start. So we're going to start at this one. This is our first portal that we created, and now basically what we want to do is we want to make the link between this one and the next. So for this we're going to be doing MVP, and we're going to be doing wand, and it's going to give us a little wand. Now if you do have world edit, what you're going to do is you're going to do //wand. It will also tell you that you have got world edit and you can use that. So the first thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to be left clicking the top corner. Doesn't really matter where you start as long as it's opposite. So we're going to be left clicking the top left, and we're going to right click the top right. Now this has basically selected this area, so we can now create a portal. Now to actually create the portal, I'm going to be typing in MVP create, and then you're going to name it something. So I'm just going to call this portal 1, and then we're going to call the other one portal 2. Sorry about this, I seem to have a Minecraft cow keep budging into me and moving the camera. Either way, so that's going to be MVP create portal 1. Once we've done this, we'll then go ahead and create the portal 2. So, and another note here is once you've just created a portal, that's the one that's selected. I'll show you in a second just how to select portals randomly, but currently, because we've just created this one, this is the one that's selected. So we're going to do create portal 1. Now with that created, I'm just going to head back over to the other world. Again, at this point, if it's on the same world, this is where you would just fly over to wherever else it was, your other portal entrance or exit. And now in this second area, I'm basically going to follow the same thing. So I'm going to left click on the top left, I'm going to right click on the top right, and again I'm just going to bring up the MVP create. However, this time this is going to be portal 2 because this is the second one. So we've now just created portal 1 and we've just created portal 2. Just be aware that because we've just created portal 2, this will be the one that's selected. Now as we are at portal 2 it's selected, it makes sense that we're going to set this to go to portal 1, and then we can go back to portal 1 and set it to portal 2. Now to do this, open up your chat bar. I'm going to paste in the command. The command is MVP modify, because we're going to be modifying it, dest for destination, P, you're going to have a colon, so P colon, and then you're going to put the portal name that you want this to go to. So this is portal 2, we want this to go back to portal 1. So we're going to do this, we're going to press enter. As you can see, we've now set the destination of portal 2 will be going to portal 1. If we now run into this, this will now take us back to our world and to our other portal. However, as you can see, we can't actually now go back. We also need to set this portal 1 to go to portal 2. So now the way to select your portal, I'm just going to be pasting it in here again, is going to be MVP select and the portal name. So as this is portal 1, we want to select portal 1, so then we can create the connection. Now if I go back up to my last command there, which is going to be MVP modify, all we're going to do is change this over to the different portal name. So now we're modifying portal 1, we're going to do an MVP modify dest P colon and then to the destination, so that's going to be portal 2. Once we click this, we're now going to be able to run into this, and it's going to take us straight to the other portal. Now again, I'm sorry I keep saying this, but you can do this on the same world if you just want to travel great distances or go back and forth from the nether, and you can very easily now just go back and forth between your worlds with your little portal. Now one last thing here is obviously to know how to remove portals, how if you do decide you want to change them, you want to remove them for any reason, what do? That's going to be / and we're going to be doing MVP, remove, and then simply the portal name. So as we're stood at portal 1, I'm not going to delete this now, but if I did want to delete this, and it is case sensitive, we're going to be doing portal 1. So if I done this command now, MVP remove portal 1 would be removed, there'd be no linking, so if I ran into it nothing would happen. Awesome, so that's all the main things over and done with. Just one last thing as well, if you are using permissions, let's say you're using luck perms and you might want some people not to use them, or some people to use them, and of course the permissions to actually use all the portals. If you come over to Multiverse Portals, scroll down a little bit, you're going to see restrict users by using portals with permissions. Click on this bit here. Alternatively, you can also go onto the wiki. The wiki will give you all the permissions that you need. They have moved this, let's just go to the new one, there we go. So now if you look on the right hand side, you're going to get permission setup, permission list, and this is going to be where you get all your information. By adding the plugin Luck Perms or any other permission plugin that you have, this is going to be where you find. So obviously if you want them to use Multiverse Help, it's going to be multiverse.help. You're going to add that to the user group or the default user group. You can also change the access to specified worlds and stuff like this. We won't go through all the permissions because as you can see there are quite a few permissions. However, this is going to be where you find them. I'll also leave a link directly to the big old permissions list here, just so you can just go back and forth from it and use it as you need. It's also got lots of other interesting things like the destinations, currency, because you can charge currency if you're also using Essentials X, and Vault. You can set the config, you can put placeholders, there's loads of stuff you can do with this. You can even add how many people are in each world, you can get that on a holographic display just outside the portal, loads of cool things. So I hope that's helped, hope you can get your portals set up. For any other questions leave them down in the comments, and we'll see you on the next tutorial.